Greetings, YouTube. It's Friday around these parts. I don't know what day it is around your parts, but around these parts, it's Friday. That means it's Chat Gauntlet Day, and we are going to do the Arena Cube and practice up for the Decathlon Finals tomorrow and celebrate Motor City Mama's birthday today. Happy birthday, Mama. We have lowered the bar for a shopping trip. Normally, if I say that if chat can 5 or 6 win me, we go spend some of my gems and gold on bling. But since Mama loves the bling, if chat can just win the week this week, just a mere 4 wins, and we will go and do some shopping in the Magic the Gathering Arena store. And of course, if chat can 7 win me, not only will we do that shopping trip, but chat can start discussing my next haircut. That's their boon if they can pull that off. I sure hope not. I've managed to avoid it so far. It's statistically unlikely, but it's sure not zero. So I come in here a little nervous every week, playing with my hair on the line, but it's all in good fun. And I know that even if I were to 07, well, that would be all in good fun too, and a good thing hair grows pretty quickly. All right, then. We're going to hop over to the site we use to do this. We do not draft in client. We draft on MTGAdraft.tk. You're going to want to check that out if you want to do this on your own. You don't even need 8. There are draft options over here for 2. So just you and a friend could use MTGAdraft.tk to do a little draft and then export your decks to Arena and battle there with the friend challenge system. That's what we're going to do. Hopping over to the left monitor here and we'll show you that setup. And as we do, I'm going to remind you that my sponsor, CardKingdom.com, will help you get to wherever you want to be in your paper game. Commander is kind of the #1 singles format in Magic at this point, I would say. I don't know. Maybe Alexis is, some other people in the market might know, but it just seems like when I look at what's driving prices on the history of Magic, sure, standard drives prices and everything on recent stuff, but when you look at what cards are worth what money for the history of Magic, if it's not just an old school collectible, it's because it's playable in Commander for the most part. There's exceptions, I know, but anyway, Commander, such a powerful and fun way to play the game with your friends at your kitchen table and or at your, hopefully soon at your LGS again. I don't know, COVID is messing with us all here, but if you want to get back to paper in any way, shape, or form, check out my sponsor via the affiliate links, please, and let them know you got there from here, won't you? Thank you. We also have a special guest drafter this week. Alexis, I don't think is streaming, but our friend Alexis Jansen is gonna be be the tip of the spear here in attempting to go after my hair. I believe I should actually look. That's my expectation, but I'm going to see what Hat has given me. Oh, no, Tranel's up first. Sorry. Alexis has taken the 6-hole. Great. But it's a murderer's row. This is a great lineup of participants this week, including mega spoiler Timber! Coming for Timber today. Round 1. Let's do it. All right. I am ready when you all are. I believe Alexis left shortly before me. Is that right, Alexis? I think so, because I think I heard about your new job when I was still at Wizards. But we left it in a similar time frame for sure. Oh, yeah, of course. She's in the dark. She's drafting. I believe she left before me, but not by much. All right, we're looking for build-arounds, turn-over-turn value, or just incredibly solid 2-for-1 type stuff, or low, interaction is interesting, although I don't know if you can really start with a ram through. Rocket is very excited about the start of this draft. Magda is interesting as a potential pick. I don't mind getting into the aggro deck. Similarly, Basri Ket could be an interesting pick with no other white in the pack, right? Predator is a good one too, Rob. I was going to call that out. It is a very annoying card. I don't love starting gold, though. I think I'm on Basri, Magda. Ayara is also... Yeah, Ayara you could start there. It's pretty heavily committing. I suppose Basri is too. Magda is probably the most flexible of the ones that I'm talking about, because... Yes, this can be the heart of a mono-red aggro deck, but you can do other stuff too. Karn, yeah, I should have called out Karn, Clover. This is a fine place to start. Rob, we're drafting a deck, but that, come on, man. Supreme Will goes in a bazillion decks that we are drafting, and Predator goes in one. So be intellectually honest with your chatter, or do you, I mean, are you, or listen to that lesson. Yes, we're drafting a deck, but that doesn't mean you take the narrowest gold one deck option. Although you could argue that Predator is just a good creature, and as long as you can play those two colors, you can play the Predator. But I'm gonna go with Magda. That's my gut. Or Basri. Last second Basri. It's a color choice here. There's no other white in the pack. I like mono white aggro as a lane, so I'm going to take this. But to be fair to Rob, this is pretty narrow as well. The reason I liked Magda and was on it for the most of the pick is that it's more flexible than Basri. Basri is double white and in fewer decks, so I acknowledge that. Colgan's would be a fun follow if we went Rob's direction. Just marry that. Lurrus, though. Lurrus, so powerful even just as a creature you play. And especially in this kind of deck, so I'm going to take Lurrus. We could end up taking Lurrus, and like we can't play Basri with Lurrus Companion, but I don't take Lurrus for the companioning. It's just to have this powerful creature. But yeah, we also don't need to marry the Basri. But at the same time, again, I did not pass a single other white card. So and Lurrus is just incredibly powerful. So, and it's even like we can end up black here, right? Like we could abandon the Basri and find ourselves in a black lane. I'm going to take Lurrus. I think Lurrus is a fine pick to follow our starting pick. I don't know what this is. Faceless Agent. Is this a changeling? When Faceless Agent enters the battlefield, seek. Yeah, it's one of these special cards. Seek a creature card of the most prevalent creature type in your library. Okay. That's interesting as well, but I'm going to go the color cut. But yeah, this, you don't need to companion this. You just need to cast this on turn 4 with 1 mana open and a good 1-drop in your yard. You know, it's just absurd if they can't kill it. And especially if you have sack for value 1 and 2 drops. Ooh. Nothing super supportive of the white aggro deck here. There is a Valorous Stance if we really wanted to just be hardcore about our cutting of white, but we could also take a Rankle, knowing what I said, you know, Lurrus could go in the black deck as well. And it has the sack thing, so we could be, each player sacrifices a creature, we'd be sacrificing our 1-drops and bringing them back with Lurrus, that kind of thing. So there is definitely Rankle combo ability here. Yeah, Tome was going to get to next. Tome is... Lurrus can replay the Tome. And the Haj saying monocolor aggro is the way to go is one of the reasons I leaned this direction. And we could just take the Valorous Stance and continue to carve out this lane. I really don't hate that. Okay, I'm going to do it. Let's see if we can really... because, look, we haven't sent anything pickable in white to the left, per se. There were white cards in the last pack, I think, that weren't Lurrus, right? But nothing I felt was Now I can't remember, but maybe some of you can, but I don't think we passed significant white last pack, I'd at least say. Oh, Tome Exiles, then I didn't read. I just trusted chat. But we didn't take Tome anyway, so there you go. Yeah, we may be getting cut from the right. But then Thalia shows up along with Clarion Spirit and makes me feel good about our chances. Which one is better? I think, it might be the Spirit for producing the go-wides. Tron says Spirit. Thalia hoses a lot of strategies, though. Well, I mean, they're both very good. Like, the Thalia can be a non-bow with your own stuff. We play Thalia, we can't play Basri on 3. Our Valor stance gets more expensive. So it's like, yes, we can imagine how this is going to really hose that Spells Matter deck or the heavy non-creature control deck, right? But Spirit is just value town for this type of deck if we aim for a low curve. So, yeah, so Hodge likes it for like the Wrath protection, which is right. You want to run this so that you're, but also, gosh, does Thalia wheel? Like because if we are the only ones in mono white aggro, I don't think Thalia is a big play for anybody else. Yeah, the Annex is a strong card too. That's a good point. I'm sticking to the plan we've developed here, though. Yeah, I don't know. They're both interesting choices. I'm gonna take the Spirit, but that's a really agonizing one, and I'm gonna fall back on my feeling that when you're agonizing over a pick that much, it probably means it didn't matter too much. So they were both excellent choices and probably didn't move the win percentage needle all that much. Redain is interesting. We're not going to be facing much of the snow thing, but talk about making those wraths difficult, right? So we did not take the wrath tax last pick. Let's take the wrath tax this pick over Mangara, which is not quite the aggro card we're looking for anyway. Redain is fine. Shield is great too, yeah, especially against certain archetypes, right? If you playing against Burn and you drop the shield, they're like, oh god. So we're protecting the lane pretty well going downstream, but I'm uncertain if there's anybody in this upstream. Seeing both Clarion Spirit and Thalia in the same pack was heartening. But it's not like it's been overloaded with good picks for our deck. Shelter, it's not going to protect us against Wrath, but it is the card that goes into the mono white aggro best. There's Sarah's Emissary, but it's not what I want to be doing with Luris. Should I take it? Let's see. Let's read it. Yeah, that's obviously powerful, but are we trying to get to 7 in this deck? Just doesn't feel... yeah, Elixir feels a little anti-aggro. But we are also in life gain colors, so we may be able to get ourselves back above, you know, once we fall below. Oh, the alchemy... right, the alchemy version has a is a little better. Right. And we are... But are we going to use that? We don't use the alchemy version in Friend Challenge, right? I don't know what the... maybe somebody... One of the mods can tell me how that plays out. Okay, so we don't get the alchemy version, so this is what we're drafting. What you see is what you get. So I'm going to take Shelter. Elixir is interesting. But yeah, it's just not mono white aggro, right? I don't want to try to get aggro. And Shelter has double duty. It can make something unblockable for the kill stroke, or it can save your creature from removal. And the draw card on top is just Chef's Kiss. Shepherd of the Flock can save our stuff too. We can take a Woe Strider and get black-white wide. Ojitai's Command. Yeah, Woe Strider still being here is interesting, but also taking the Shepherd and just, again, completely slamming the door on this lane from this direction. But Woe Strider, is it good enough? That is, Prof likes the Strider. We do have... Because, yeah, Woe Strider's better than Shepherd in a vacuum. Scrap Heap goes in that as well, sure. I'm going to take the Shepherd. I'm cutting it hard. And now I feel like rewarded with the Usher. Although Remorseful is interesting too. We'll take Usher though. Take the 1 over the 2. Harvester also great. But Usher right on plan. I want more 2-powered 1-drops, actually. I think that's what this deck is missing. We weren't really expecting much back from this pack anyway. Awakening in case we end up in the black-white lane somehow. Or a Ram Through if we're splashing a little removal in a green-white deck. I don't know what green-white's really trying to do in the cube exactly. Traxos could work. We do have Basri, Lurrus, and Redain. It's all just hedging. I don't think we're going to play any of this. So hedging towards, triple black. Hedging towards triple black seems like a stretch. And the first green card seems like a stretch. Light Up the Stage, though, maybe is the not stretch from David. If we were to end up with a bunch of good Boros fixing, we could certainly become Boros aggro. That's fair. And hey, meme value. All right, David, we'll do it. It's a spec pack, and there's a Sacred Foundry to do that. Although we could take Pride of Conquerors and just take the finisher. Probably just want the finisher here. Although, man, this can set us up to get in there. What do you think? Yeah, I think we got the Clarion Spirit for the go wides and the Usher for the go wides. I'm gonna do it. This was a spec, even though this supports that spec. This supports our actual primary known plan. Maze Mind, as observed, does work with... Oh, it doesn't work with Lurrus, as we figured out, right? Exiles? Yeah. So it doesn't work with Lurrus, but might still be playable. We can take the Fortress. Let's just take a land. Yeah. Land, give us an avenue into blue, but unlikely to play it right now. In fact, I'll cut the light as well and keep us focused on the mono plan. Here's a white-green card. This is pretty good. This could be splashable if, again, we randomly get the green-white fixing. But Priest... This is like... this is a good Reanimator card, but we're just not Reanimator. Champ. Anax still being here is offensive. Ugh. But yeah, we could take Anax, I suppose. If we get the fixing, we would do it. All right, I'll take Anax because it's the best card, and we actually do have a toe into it with the light. but I'm not expecting it. Doom Foretold this is not our deck. Warkite Marauder, if we end up in blue, could be. Blue-white Tempo Aggro could be interesting. I still don't think this particular white card is what we want to do, even though it's white. It's more defensive. And we do have Search for Blacks if we end up black, but I'll take the Elixir. Kind of hope we're just mono white, to be honest. But we have Inch and Pelt Collector too. We got these toes in some cards that would be fine in a well-supported splash, but we would really need that the land support. Venerated Loxodon. Generally my homie, but because of the 1-drops, and we only have one, we're going to take Loxodon and prioritize ones. Ranger class, though, that's interesting as well. What else do we like here? Checking our duels. These aren't really the duels for us. Angel of Sanctions is fine, as it may be a top end for this deck. But Loxy is where we're going. If we wheel the Angel of Sanctions, then we'll know that we kind of did it in terms of closing off the white lane, because it's a double white card. And it's not in necessarily an aggro like we would play it, but it's not a priority for the aggro white build. So, I mean, if this wheels, it's almost like then nobody's in white except us. Did I screw up what? Oh, tutelage. You just want to be a milling machine? I guess we know who's evil in chat. Yeah, Samuel, did you read that article from Star City Games? Because that's I didn't even finish that article, but the author opened on a discussion of the mono white deck and was a little bit down on Loxy as because there's that turn off you kind of have to take to do it. Although if we get the vigilance +1/+1 counter and vigilance your team, that's the best. I understand what the author is saying, but I still think it's the pick there, and I still think if you can get the ones, it's absurd. If you're doing it with a bunch of 2s and 3s, then yeah, that's because think of it as like almost add the CMC of the creatures you're tapping to the cost of the Loxodon. And if you think of it that way, a bunch of 1-mana creatures is still a great deal. As soon as you start doing it with 2s and 3s, though, then it's not as sweet. So we'll keep an eye on it, but I definitely think it was the pick there anyway. God's Willing is something we should probably wheel if there's anything else to try to take. But the thing is, what else is there to take? It would only be a support color card. So like red, we were looking at maybe green, like so Return of the Wild Speaker could do it. Right, like if this is a top end of let's see, because like Clarion Spirit is making spirits, this is making humans. So unfortunately this doesn't work with the Usher counters, but Return does work with the flyers. That would be quite an overrun. Glorybringer, though, in the red is a fair comment as well. I think that's you've probably hit the ones that we should consider. And with Annex Light and Glorybringer, we can really start to consider if we can find the Boros lands. Yeah, so I'll take Glorybringer, but maybe we are fighting for the mono white deck somehow, and a lot of the cheap creatures for it were taken by somebody else in the first pack. I don't know. Yeah, I don't do any memes I don't have any memes hooked up to this scene, really. Golos makes an appearance, but Skyclave is where we want to be. Yeah, Thalia didn't wheel. That's a great point, Haj. Great point. So we may be fighting. Yeah, nice try, Hat. Nice try. Skyclave is fine. Dollhouse, interesting always. Marauder. What from this pack? Oh yeah, let's look at this one. Good call. It is a 3/1, can't block, and has Cascade. I don't like this here. Much rather have the Apparition. Come on, 1-drop white creatures that are good. I might run it as top end. I don't think it's the top end we want. It feels like... But, you know, heck, you might bring stuff back and it actually gets bigger than it was to start with, you know? I forget that you can't look at cards in the waiting screen. Yeah, Dollhouse is at its best with awesome ETBs and on creatures where the power rests on their rules text and not their power toughness box. Luminarch, Aspirant, and we get the OG. Oh, but Isamaru. Oh, I want that too. But how do we not take Aspirant, especially as printed? So I'm taking the Aspirant. I know you knew the Magic Gods were going to do this to me too, right? Oh, Ryan wants to prioritize 1-drops. Well, how about this, Mr. Spain? Yeah, Heliod. It's probably Luminarch, Heliod, Isamaru, and I'm hoping that if there's only one other person in white that we get one of these two back, that would be sweet. Yeah, this might wheel. This of all the ones to wheel, like this is more likely to wheel than Heliod. We can't use the alchemy versions. We're not participating in Wizards of the Coast's arena draft. We are doing a friend draft using the cards we have in our collections, which, as a default, are the printed versions. Fabled Passage and Temple Garden supporting potential splashes. Oh, good. We get a choice. 3 1-drop. I wish these were just spread out. Couldn't you have put the Stone Coil, the Dauntless, and the Thraben in separate packs? Come on. We're going to take Stone Coil because everybody at the table would take a Stone Coil. And we might wheel Bodyguard or Inspector. And this is still a 1-drop if we need it. So I like the anywhere in the curve aspect of the Stone Coil and hoping that one of these comes back. A lot of cool cards in this pack. Multiple choice I like. Yeah, this is a lot of fun cards in this one. I think I opened on Baral yesterday looking for this deck. Yeah, Thraben Inspector has proven itself over time. But I'm taking the Serpent for reasons expressed. Take down some interaction in the form of a land. We're not really anywhere near any kind of black splash, so I'm not into the Godless Shrine here. We'll just take the takedown. You could take... Pathway, though, is the Boros land. You want to take the Boros land? Takedown's good. It's like, again, I think we're going to be there on a mono white. I think we take takedown. These are like, I just don't like double red. Just seems we're so far away from double red. I'm taking the takedown. And I'm no longer thinking that I'm like the only one interested in cheap white creatures, so I don't feel like I can just necessarily take a bunch of picks off at this point. Don't love the commando for cube power levels, but interesting that it's here. It just shows the value of naturalize effects in cube, and especially naturalize effects that are main deckable in best of one cube. And Cathar Commando qualifies. We're certainly not aiming for 8. And deck of many things, Blast Zone. If we're mono, Blast Zone is possible, but yeah, we could play this if we were protecting a win, but that seems pretty narrow, Haj. I'm just going to take Commando. Yeah, they're both in the same ballpark. Legion's Landing is where we are at. Lorehold Command. This is the type of card I would like to splash. I would totally. That's a more splash worthy card than like Glory Bringer or Annex. But Legion's Landing is 2 on point. Yeah, I hear you, man. But are you really taking this here over Legion's Landing, given what our deck is doing? It just feels like the landing is the priority over the because. Yeah, what does this do? Reach, Lifelink, Outlast. Each other creature you control with a +1/+1 has Outlast. Okay, so maybe green-white is +1/+1 counters as a sub-theme. But yeah, I need the, like, we don't have any more. Gotta take the one. Gotta take the one. I hear you, though. Lorehold Command is the red card that's come along that I've most wanted to try and play. Yeah. I get that you would not have navigated to this exact spot, and maybe you are in a place where Lorehold Command is the correct pick for your pile, but clearly with what we've got right now, with the decisions I've made to this pick, that's the thing to do. Hey, look, the tutelage came back. Good job, chat. Nobody is evil except Hat. This is not for us. Outcast is a, if pack 3 were nothing but red-white duels, Outcast is a 1-drop that we could Lox it on. Yeah, we could hate the tutelage. That's true. There's nothing, but I almost think we're like tutelage is not good against us. Right? I think we beat. I don't know. A good mill deck, of course, has the tools to survive, but any mill deck is spending a bunch of their picks on milling. And aggro tends to be the most effective against milling strategies. So I'm going to let somebody bring that at me. I'm going to take the Outcast and not play it, most likely. God's Willing came back. We'll take that just fine. Willing plus Shepherd plus... where is it? The Shelter. Nice little suite of protection. Temple of Plenty in case of green. Predation in case of black. Temple seems fine. Or Inscription in case of blue. Reload. I don't think I want a Marauder. You think so? This doesn't feel like it ever gets there. I'm so unhappy with a 3/1 that can't block for 2 in cube. In cube? And then sometimes it gets me a 1-drop? I'm taking the Temple. Yeah, we don't want to block, but guess what you have to do sometimes, gang? Come on. Hey, this is good news. I'm going to take Isamaru. We were talking about Heliod as maybe the better choice, but I think this deck needs Isamaru more. Do you agree? I would totally run this. If I could take both, I would. Dauntless comes back. Yes, it's coming around now, gang. And this, see, people are trying to tell me to take this over the Stone Coil, but we got there. I knew we'd get one of those back. The other one was taken, though. What was the other one drop? There was a Dauntless and another one. I can't remember what it was. Thraben. Yeah. So somebody seems to be really doing something similar, but maybe the table can support two. Take a Delver, let somebody have that land. Maybe I should have just taken the land. That was probably denying somebody. Taking the land probably denies somebody something more relevant than taking that spell. Yeah, no one seems to be in red-green, but somebody might be in Golos, right, Haj? I may have passed the Golos player that land. Well, Cast Out is playable, and really the only mono is the only white card in the pack. So now if I'm not taking it, what am I taking? Yeah, we're taking it. There's nothing else to take. Pretty easy. Hate Draft the Gargs. I'm just gonna tip my cap to it if it wrecks us, or let's just show it our valorous stance. Or heck, the Cast Out. Yeah. Well, I'll be surprised if we're playing a mono red aggro deck. If a mono red aggro deck shows up, we gotta ask that drafter what they took over Annex, because I can't imagine not taking it the first time around, and it wheeled to us, so other people saw it twice. Yeah, Embercleave is a good answer. Embercleave is a great answer. But I'll be surprised if there's a mono red deck because of how late Annex went. Welcoming Vamp. Although, settle the Rettle. Oh no! Don't do it! Don't settle us! Wait, who am I passing to? Let's see. Charmy, Mancube, Saitama. Lightning Helix, obviously great in the event that we were Boros, but we're just taking Vamp and we're pretty happy about that. Oh yeah, I'm not considering taking the Settle for our deck as much as I'm worried about facing it. But glad we saw it. Like, we can play around it. We can. That's why I was checking who we're passing to. Not that the thing with Cube is Settle could make it back to Timber if nobody else is doing the thing, right? So it's hard to say who might end up with it. Really, we got to look for two planes and that and be scared. Yeah, right. I told you it was a murderer's row in here. Jeez. Ranger helps us get those ones. I bet we wheel that, though, and I'm just going to take the Lunark here. Lunark's great and buffs the team, fills out the curve, etc. I like a Mind Stone. I hope to wheel, if we, not in this deck, but I just like a Mind Stone. Resto and Ranger. Yeah, I'd play both of these. Ranger's a little more on plan for the deck now. It's got lots of targets. But yeah, it even gets Mikaeus. I think we reel the Rangers, so let's take Mikaeus here. I'm glad we picked up this Pride. I know this was the point at which, like, the alternative here was a red-white land that really could have given us a lane into taking some Boros stuff. But, like, the fact that we, like, and would allow us to splash something like Lorehold. But Pride is like Lorehold, right? Like, we have it in our core color. So I'm really glad we picked that one up. Although, like, Showdown is great as well. Dancing Sword, is that enough? Or Cathar's Crusade is pretty absurd. What do you think? Hedge on Showdown, Dancing Sword is just kind of arbitrary value-ish card. Or Crusade is somewhat of a, like, I mean, this is absurd if you untap with it and you have a board. I'm going to go for the Crusade because it's glorious when it works. If you want the Sword, I'm with you. The Sword might be the grown-up pick, but I actually think our deck is good enough that we can take the Crusade for some funsies. Says the guy risking his hair. That's like what the Magic gods do to come for my hair. But I like Crusade is really good if you untap with it. So we're gonna give it a shot. Ephemerate, Spellbinder to take this realm and make it tough to cast. Seems good. Yeah, we could hate the Wrath. I'd rather just take the Spellbinder and hate the Wrath directly in their hand. Yeah, there's reinforcements. We're definitely seeing the red splash. There was a red splash that that we could have landed on, but I'm also quite happy with the consistency of a mono-white deck, which we're obviously going to be able to have now. I mean, this is our 23rd card, and I don't hate anything in the deck. This is our 24th card, really. But this, if I shipped this, I'd be okay. And we have even a takedown as a quasi-17th land. History starts making us make choices. That's great for us. Siphon! I saw it, Hat. I saw it. Yeah, I said don't hate. There's nothing I hate. There's some things that we could upgrade. Shepherd is upgradable. I could probably cut that right now. If I play the Crusade, 16 plus 1. If we cut the Crusade, we could consider 15 plus 1. But I don't like to get too greedy. This could be a 4 if we want it to be. I guess if there's no mana sinks we need to worry about, then that's helpful. And also, Legion's Landing is somewhat of a eventual land as well. Charming Prince, not at its best here. We'll take it and consider it, though. We'll see what we can do with it. Really, Charming Prince you want in your value blink decks, which we have some blinky value, but not necessarily a ton. Yeah, that's true. A little bit of a mana sink here in the landing. Oh, PV, yes, VP. I was trying to figure out what card you were talking about. Now I understand. But yes, turn by turn, although it's a one-shot. But yes, blinking this even once would be pretty sweet. And I don't know, let's see. Yeah, right now I think maybe we can find a place for it. Well, Triome is a little late to get in on this game. Don't think we're playing Helm. We could cut Helm, could cut something, cut Disfigure. Probably just want to cut the stuff that kills us. And I'm not playing it Triome at this point. We're just, I mean, you could play a Cycling Plains, I suppose, in that way, but I don't, Cycling 3, ETB tapped, is too much of a cost for a aggro deck. So we're going to just take the thing that's best against us, which would be Disfigure, or to an extent, Null Priest with the lifelink. But Disfigure just reaches out and kills our stuff pretty cheap. I'm going to take it. So I don't know if these packs were light on white or if our lane closed. But again, we still have a playable deck even as is, so no worries. We can take a cycling card. But again, what do we think is best against us? Fatal Push. Take Fatal Push. Same reason as I took the last black removal. Yeah, blue-black. Does that mean this is just wide open for blue-black? A lot of good cards. Bubble Snare is medium-ish, but I think I understand why it's in here. It's ultimately a 1 mana answer to aggro for blue. And we're going to take Enraptured. We could do Immortal Sun, although we do have a Planeswalker, and I don't really want to go for a 6. Guardian we could take and potentially play because it does become a creature. But I think Enraptured is the most annoying card for our deck to see. The 3 toughness can be really frustrating to see on 3. This card, like the 3 toughness against aggro, a little underrated. The old 2/3 body. I'm going to take it. I'm going to steal it from somebody else. We seem to be in hate draft mode here. Hey, but our Ranger came back. Great. So maybe we cut the Crusade, even though I really do like it. But takedown as land, going 15 land plus takedown, and these 24 seem like it could be really good. Sword came back anyway, so we can consider if there's something to upgrade with that. Yes, Skull. Nobody's doing Boros aggro, which is what we figured, because it was either us or nobody, right? Yeah, that's fair. I like cutting the God's Will. The Shelter card draw is so nice. Ministrant of Obligation. I don't think it's good enough for us to play. I think it's in here more for sacrifice type effects. It's not bad. I just don't think it's good enough here. Search is amazing to still be here. Is nobody in blue control? Looks like it. Like maybe this will be a freewheeling day in which nothing gets countered by anybody. All right, I think I kind of like this. Any changes? We've got a God's Willing, a Crusade, Ministrant, and a Shepherd as the only white options. But let's call this one of my faster builds. Correct this land incorrection and export simply. Let's do it. Black Clover likes the elixir. I think it's not aggro enough for me. Yeah, that's why it's not bad, Tron. I just don't think it makes the cut in our deck. Are you really cutting something from... Well, you tell me what we're cutting to make the play then. Me... Kill airtime hat? I'll try. Tall order. Well, I already cut the God's Willing, and I want one of those, and I really like a Shelter. But cutting both was suggested. Let's make sure I'm not crafting something super silly, although we just kind of have the tools to do so. One common, one uncommon. Never mind. I should have done that first. I'll allow it, Rob, because now it's my assignment.
Oh my god, blah blah blah. Oh my god, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah.
I'll look for it.
Oh my god, Operation blah blah blah.
let's see. For Tron, that was from Strixhaven, which was pre that, right? So it's got to be here.
Don't know about the future.
Now, obviously, better planes at a minimum. My all-time favorite basics. Courtesy of John Avon. Let's see. What is our deck name? We are aggressive. We are mono white. We glanced at some splashes, but didn't take, like, there could be a no splash. How about a dry town? No splash. This we're hoping is like a 3, and then our top end is 2 4-drops. You're allowed to pick a different John Avon land as your favorite, Samuel, but you'll never get me. Never say never, but I have a hard time imagining a land cycle unseating these as my favorite. But never say never. I hope it happens, because then I'd have the sweetest lands ever, even better than these. All right, let's call our deck done. We can, oh wait, I owe Mama Lotus sleeves. Happy birthday, Mama. I'd like owe her sleeves for a year if I miss this one. Yeah, Ranger can tutor for Mikaeus, because the only time Mikaeus is not a 1-drop is when it's on the stack and has an X other than 0. And Ranger, however, and Ranger can also get Stone Coil. So one thing I like about Ranger in this deck is we can get Stone Coil and Mikaeus and get 1-drops on turn 4 that we can then pump 4+ mana into. And yeah, Basri can hang out there. Oh, I didn't see Samuel. I'm no Jamie Topples. Jamie sees and responds to like everything everybody types, and it blows me away. You all don't understand how hard that is. I don't know how she plays Magic and responds to every single person who chats. I know. So I get it. I get why I can't do it. I don't know how she can. Incredible. What a talent. Let's see. Well, I'll do free AMAs. Give me a press one of Ryan's play buttons, and we'll talk until oppos are ready. Let's see. There is, what can we talk about? Who's winning? We're all winners here. Graceland is my favorite album of all time. I like to say things. Tron says, what is the best album of all time? I, in my old age, my advanced years here, have mostly learned to stop using the word best in those types of contexts. Instead, I use the word favorite, my favorite, because you say best album and we start to have some idea that there's some objective truth that we can reach if we just argue about it enough, or if we just stack rank enough. Whereas if I say Graceland is my favorite album of all time, what are you going to do? Argue with me about that? Like, there's nothing to argue with. I don't have a good 2021 list. I'm learning myself, D. Here, let me. Were you around when I showed you this? I keep meaning to put this in my my starting soon blurbs, but I haven't added today's. In fact, you might have seen me look at my phone at some point during the draft. That was my buddy Royal. He does not have Spotify. He's an Apple guy and won't even like engage with Spotify. But I've told him, look, you tell me, like, I want to share your music with others. So you just tell me what you're going to do, and I'll make Spotify playlists so that people can check out your Spotify playlist. So, the album that I have not added, I can do that. Here, this is me doing my Spotify work for my buddy. Here, we'll do that on air while other people wrap up. Pull this chat off screen. This is my little reminder. So his today's album is Michael Stipe's Sunday Morning. Oh, wait, he wrote this at... Oh, no, wait, maybe that's tomorrow's. Maybe I'm giving you advance to tomorrow. Now I got to find out if he's already added one today. When I checked right before I went on air, he had not added one for today. But maybe it's up now. They work for me, bud. Maybe it's a regional thing? Huh. Oh, man. See, like, this is why I got to listen to my buddy Royal. I try to be in touch, but life is busy. I love the Fruit Bats. I didn't know the Fruit Bats had a new album this year. So today's album is the Fruit Bats. And I can't wait to listen to it because I love the Fruit Bats. So, looks like Siamese Dream. I don't see it there. Yeah, Fruit Bats are another kind of one person band, Eric D. Johnson. But I don't see it on Spotify. That maybe means I can't add it? Oh, well. Well, I'm looking forward to listening to the new Fruit Bats, even if Spotify doesn't have it. I'll find a way. Oh, wait, here it is. What? Whatever. Yay. I'm going to add the full... So I have two playlists, the full album playlist. So we're going to add that to the albums. And then... Oh, is it just... This looks like a full-on cover of the Smashing Pumpkins album? Must be, because like the song... Yeah, okay, look. I didn't even look at the track list. Okay. Well, we'll add this. So then I add the song that he uses to the singles edition as well, the radio edition. So there we go. Now I've done my work for Royal. I love covers too, so I'm in for a cover album. It's funny, Hat, because that's actually a Fish tradition. Whenever historically Fish has played a Halloween show, normally they do a 2-set show. And on Halloween's, they do a 3-set show, and their middle set is what they call a musical costume, in which they cover start to finish some classic rock album. They have quite a lineup of classic rock albums they've covered. So it's kind of it's what Fish does every Halloween live to cover an entire album by another band. But it sounds like it's what Eric Johnson has done with with the old Smashing Pumpkins. All right, I think we're probably ready. I think I've probably chatted away enough here, but definitely check out the Bacon review. I'll tell you what, D, ask me what my favorite 5 albums of 2021 are at the end of the month after I've finished listening to Royals Countdown. And I'll probably have a better answer for you by then. And maybe Fruit Bats covering Smashing Pumpkins will be on the list. I don't know. There we go. All good. All right, good luck to all but one of you. Let's do this. All right, I like this. Sword, if we draw, I'd rather draw like another creature than sword on 2 because I want to head towards the Loxodon, but history making 2 is going to make for a powerful Loxodon. And at least we have a play for 2. Let's see, sword is only 1 to equip, but it's not what we're doing this turn. Timber deciding whether or not to spend resources on this 1/1. Maybe, that's my read. I don't know. We could easily go. I kind of like Luris equip sword next turn, and then Loxodon for the big value. Yeah, but we don't even know. Like, who knows what this is? Maybe this is heading towards some multicolor strategy. Actually, we can probably go Luris Loxodon next turn, right? Oh, maybe not now with the dead. All right. So a little bit wrecked there, but Redain is interesting against the red deck. I think we just play the shield side of this and go. Yeah, Sword and Angel is fine, but like, what about shield side? I'm just on shield side for against Channel's Burn. Now maybe he's got more artifact hate or whatever. No attack? What? He wouldn't have, though. That's the whole point. Yay! I saw something that Haj didn't. Hey, everybody! Haj missed something, and I saw it, though. I saw it. I didn't either, Tron. That's why I'm so happy. So now we're going to just go for... Let's see. We can go Luris. And then Loxodon can't get there if we go Luris. Luris doesn't have anything to get. We can equip Sword and then Loxodon for not great value. But some value. And at least we get to attack. The Vigilance with Venerated is great, right? So, are you not, but why aren't we sorting, right? Because we can still do it? Yeah, let's sort it and then Loxodon. That's obviously good against us. We don't have a lot of reach out and kill it. And next turn, the swarm begins. So I guess we offer both here. Block the swarm doesn't do much in the. I mean, they're a bunch of chumps against the shield, right? Luris doesn't get us anything right now, but let's start with an attack. Well, we got to get up in the air. We have some flying in the deck, not a lot, but some, and make them block every turn. But yeah, it's this is gonna start to slip away if we don't get up in the air. Yeah, landing, match the 1/1s. The trouble is this is exponential and not ours just one per turn. This does require land entering the battlefield, though. Timber could run out of land while we don't run out of ability to tap landing. But this is all we got, so I also don't think we have much rummaging or anything, so I'm going to go ahead and play the land, although I could hold it. I suppose sandbagging a land there is fine. Let's move the sword to Luris for what that's worth. Yeah, but endless O1s, if we can't get up in the air to close out the game, eventually I bet they do find, Timber does find something to take care of the shield, and then much tougher. Okay, so probably need to take out the Scoot Swarm here, huh? Cast out. Although, obviously, if Timber had the 6th land, they'd do it. Yeah, but I don't. If we let it go to Timber's main phase and he plays a land, the swarm is doubled. So if we want to use cast out on the swarm, we got to do it now. We can. Yeah, Obosh is the other choice, right? And well, it's each. So it's every time the damage happens, right? So. Each form of the strike, right? Like doubling, you double 0. Like you figure out how much damage is going to happen and then double it. So doubling 0 is 0. Right. It's a really tough choice. Obosh, maybe getting rid of Obosh gives us the big enough attack right now and sets up that like kind of Timber has to find the swarm land next turn, right? So I'm going to go for the Obosh play. And yeah, we're definitely flipping, but it's still not clear to me that this is correct, but I think this is correct. I don't think, but like, it all just happens, right? I mean, I don't know. The order of operations doesn't seem to matter here because it's like you're resolving it all before figuring out the damage anyway. They aren't O1s, really? All right. Can't create a. Let's move the sword though. Do we do that? So if this dies, we get, or if the sword. It's when the creature when a crypt creature dies. Yeah. Well. Yeah, we have enough mana to move this around for 1 mana. I might as well put it on the untapped thing. Yeah, good time to come into a replacement effects discussion, huh, Pablo? Welcome. Valorous Stance. Nothing here with 4 toughness or greater, but we can Indestructible if it becomes relevant. All right, if multiple replacement or prevention effects try to modify damage that would be dealt to a permanent or player, the player or the controller of the permanent chooses the order in which they apply. So they can. So does that mean that the controller of Obosh could stack it to make them deal 1? Is that what I'm understanding? Because it doubles it to 2 and then reduces it to 1? Or does that imply we choose? Yeah, I don't know. I read it and still don't understand. Classic. I'm going to attack. How about that? Just enough. It's almost relevant. Almost relevant. And then shelter. Oh, shelter.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
All right. Hair is safe. Thank you, Mono White Aggro. One more revenge win against Timber. Good game, Timber. Skeeve is up next. All right, Samuel. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next time. I don't want 5 drops at this point anyway. I cut my 5 drop. Looks good. Ooh, Usher now into Clarion, even better. Stone Coil for 0, Basri to get the get a 1/1 flyer. I'm hoping there's little game time for everyone, Timber. Hey, there's somebody else playing white. There's where a lot of our stuff is, I bet. Offering Usher for Cleric. We'll start there. Yeah, we even Clarion Stone Coil. Clarion Stone Coil is not the dumbest, really. Like, it's... the only question is, would it just be better to get actual full-on X value from Serpent, actually making this a 3/3? Yeah, fancy play syndrome, you think? It does immediately make a blocker for like the 1/1 flyers are great against Remorseful Cleric. All right, people are against it. We'll be patient. It felt a little fancy play, but It's true, we do have a lot of 3s here in a deck loaded with 1s and 2s. But maybe we'll find, oh boy. Soul Hoarder starts to look good, and it hasn't even really done anything yet. Like, it's already scary. Isamaru is interesting. Oh, thank you, D. We'll update that. We can go Isamaru, Stone Coil on 2. But really, we should probably Elite to make sure there's nothing in hand that's going to be absurd with Soul Herder next turn. So I'm going to go Elite. But I should decide on attacks first. I'll actually trade this for either of these. I'd give up the Spirit for the Cleric at this point. Maybe just the Usher, though. Spirit's pretty good. I'll send just the Usher. Because I don't want to trade Cleric for Spirit. But I'll trade Usher for Spirit. Or Usher for Cleric. Could make a creature and play a 1-drop. But again, I'm really going to Paulo to avoid... to try and stave off combos with Soul Herder. So right now, a lot of blinking enablers, but not a lot of blinky payoffs. So right now, nothing really ETBs crazily. But yes, Resto is just the best card to choose here, right? Even though they can't cast it yet. Well, because they won't attack. But I guess it just means, yeah, I'm gonna go Angel here, even though they don't have the mana for it yet. Oh, you're talking about our Angel? Sure. I think you said Angel in the context of me talking about Resto, and I think people thought you were talking about Resto. Oh yeah, and it's just lands, huh? It makes the Wrath stuff more expensive, right? That's it. Hey, we found our land though. That's what I wanted to see, because now we can 2-spell, and we can make the Redain, or we could make the Shield. Shield just starts to give good attacks, but boy, the Soul Herder is gonna be tough. Yeah, I guess we just gotta play creatures, huh? But Basri gets countered too. So we can't, if we play Basri, we're just asking, oh no, this has a, oh yeah, it doesn't need a tap, so they can counter it right now. So we're going to stick to critters. Sticking to critters. And what's our plan at this point? Maybe try to get Basri in when shields are down. Because if we can do a huge go-wide Basri attack, that's going to be excellent. Yeah, we have Valorous Stance, we have Takedown, we have Kabira Takedown, Valorous Stance, Cast Out, and Skyclave Apparition. So really 4 pieces of removal plus a Cathar Commando for Naturalize effect. Yeah, it's true. Stone Coil lines up well against Herder, but Bubble Snare lines well against Stone Coil. So we'll keep all that in mind. But nothing to do now. We could offer... No, there's nothing to offer. Yeah, I just had to say no attacks here, which is not great, but... what's working for us is that Soul Herder does not yet have any good targets to abuse. This is such a devastating card to have going without removal to stop it if they've got any kind of payoff. But right now, Skeeve doesn't have a payoff. Yeah, shield's down, so now we get to Basri, and... Oh, but how do we not? That's an even better shield's down, I feel like. You still like Basri? I mean... Although resetting Soul Herder would be fine with me, right? So shields are not down on ephemerate. That is true. Let's go Basri then. I like it. Sure. Now, what are we doing here? Are we going up or down? Because we can give something. If we're not swinging away with everything, we should go plus on Basri, right? We can go counter on Spellbinder to get the most damage in this turn. Stone Coil for 1 also doesn't suck, you're right. I like that, Haj, but let's go 3-1 and let's go 4-2 indestructible, right? No, it makes it indestructible. I'm doing this.
I trust in your abilities.
Can send this one too, but it leaves Basri open to crack back, although Stone Coil on 1 stops that as well. And we're going to make another one, so I will attack, actually. Yeah, we're going to coil for 1 anyway, so we have double protection. I didn't want to assume that. They might have decided to save it for responses, but I get not saving for responses against white. I don't think we need to Sky's Clave the Snare. I think if you just get the Soul Herder gone, we'll be fine. Although with this particular attack, actually maybe do it. Yeah, do it like this, and then this doesn't even die. Now I think we just win with Malevolent, although they can't cast that. I think we just take the Malevolent out instead of the Soul Hoarder here, but let me do math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13, 14, 15. Yeah, we have a lot of extra. And Settle is the thing where, yeah, maybe I should... Settle is what we need to play around. So maybe we Basri, but don't send everything. We send enough. I think we send a few here. We definitely send Usher. And then we can boast. And we send... Well, Clarion Spirit might be less useful right now. I'm going to leave back the Serpent at least. Let's go this. Or maybe I leave the Spellbinder back. Yeah, I like sending the ground, but not the Serpent. You like the token too? I guess the token can attack, sure. So really, you're just saying not I'm saying not Serpent, not Spellbinder. That was good, Tron, but I think it was a lot of showmanship because what other choice did LSV's opponent have? I think Luis just helped him make the play he was kind of forced into making anyway. Looks like it was not Settle, but do we bother Skyclaving? I mean, if they didn't have Settle, we should probably get there, and then our new worry is just Wrath effects, right? So I like waiting. I don't know if LSV is overrated. But I do think that play was a little more cute than Jedi Mind Trick. Well, now I like putting a +1/+1 counter on something, and then well, Settle is sack, right? So it doesn't even do that. Like, but we'll still go plus. And if Resto comes out to play, that shouldn't be the worst anyway, right? So don't even, yeah, I'll put it on the Spellbinder still.
I will guard your advance.
They're gonna Resto this out of the way, probably. That's fine. I just want it not blocking. And if they Resto, it says they don't have Settle, and it's our game anyway. So it's possible Skeeve is just representing Settle. But we still gotta play around it. If we play around it last turn and not this turn, what are we doing? We're just gonna... we just get utterly blown out. So I'm gonna send in Lethal through Angel and make him have it. And that is... we'll send the Spellbinder to get blocked by the Angel. And... oh, yeah, that's right. Redain, now, so they couldn't even cast it last... oh, so I just screwed up. Like, they couldn't cast the Settle they might have had, and we should have done Lethal last turn. I don't know if anybody saw that in chat and mentioned it, but good call if you did. I didn't see it. So anyway, Angel block, and then 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So if there's no Settle, this should end it. If there is a Settle, maybe I don't send the Spellbinder because it doesn't matter which one goes in, right? We'll save the... yeah, we can even do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then they block this, and we don't get enough, right? That's not enough damage. 4, 5. This is blocked. We need 2 more. So we had to do it like this. So I'm going to keep the 5-3 back and send this team. But also I do like this. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, even that wouldn't do it. So this is fine. This is good. This is force them to play their settle. And try to get there from here. Now Basri makes Spellbinder indestructible again. Sorry, Basri is 3. I can be here to give a little window into that for now. Charming Prince. Well, well, well. So we can save our Redain. But we know what's going on here. Now it's Resto and Resto only. So I like just Basri plus on Spellbinder again. I gotta make sure it's not minus. If we go minus and attack with everything, Spellbinder is blocked by Resto. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is not 7. So, yeah, not playing around Settle anymore. Oh, but I do Basri plus. Oh, yeah, but yeah. Just short. So I'm going to Basri plus again. And I'm going to save the Spellbinder. And it does become must block.
I trust in your ability.
That's true. Sorry. 5-3 already does beat the 3-4. No, it doesn't. Wait, what? I like the play. It's not must block, but kinda. I mean, if we send everything, it is, right? You'd eat Skyclave. Yeah, okay, great. I like that you and Oppo thought alike, JC.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
But funny that we actually had the win and didn't take it because we forgot our own. I say we. Again, maybe some of you did not forget, but those of you who are like me forgot that we had the win against the expected settle on 5 mana because we had a creature in play that made that cost 6. Still got there. Yeah, Skeeve. Spellbinder wrecks some plans. I don't know if you caught the end of my what I was just saying there, but I didn't see that we obviously we were playing around settle, but we were playing around settle on a turn you couldn't cast it. We should have just won with the swing out before we then you played a 6th land and it was like, oh wait, it wouldn't have worked, but now it will. So now we got to play around it again for real. All right, Charmy's up next. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you thought we were being clever as well instead of just being silly. Ah, well. Well, this hand could use a 1-drop, but I'm going to keep if we can find a 1-drop into either of our 2s into a land. This hand is pretty darn good, and without a 1-drop, it's fine. Hey, 1-drop! Thank you, Magic Gods. Bodyguard has no body to guard on 1, but we're still happy to drop a 2/1 on 1. We can even attack into that. If you'll be my bodyguard, I can be your long-lost pal. Da, 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 da. I can call you Betty. And Betty, when you call me, you can call me out. One of the things I did, killing time during jury duty in a case that I had already in my own head resolved. Nothing was being said that was changing my opinion. Nothing was being said of any importance to my take on the case. So with my wanting to look busy, I said to myself, I wonder if I can write out the lyrics of Graceland from my head. I wonder if I can just start from track 1 and write out Graceland. And the answer was no. The answer is it's a lot harder than you think. D, sit the hell down. Somebody explain to D what's going on while he sits in timeout. We'll Skyclave that and get in. Yeah, I mean, I can sing along with Graceland start to finish with no problem, but when pressed to do it without the context of the music to help me along, yeah, a lot harder than you think. Well, that's good for us. I guess we... This is the downside of the Loxodon. I mean, the Loxodon is a high cost to use here. Again, if you think of it in terms of the cost of the creatures being used for the purpose. But we can also just send one and tap the other and not worry about it and just kind of split the difference. Yeah, we can also do Prince locks and what do we... But I kind of would like saving the Prince to reset the apparition. That's what I was thinking, Mike, that we want to actually hold this. But maybe I should just be aggro against the green deck that doesn't have a board yet. So that's fair as well. And just scry, you know, because this has other modes, right? Yeah, the scry 2 makes some sense. All right, sure, let's do that. And we get Spellbinder, which will absolutely take against potentially big green. And let's make the Prince biggest. There is Wrath of Green. It's a black card from the, I think, like, Invasion days, that era. I think so. I think there is. Well, now maybe we just win target game. Whoa, look at this stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. So we want to stop 5 mana from being relevant. I'm going to take Tender Shoot. They can use a ram through. There's nothing really to ram through here, so let's get the 5-er. It might be lethal, I don't know. Let's find out. I'm certainly going to cast it while shields are this down and we have all our creatures and everything. Boom! It's lethal if they don't block.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Right on. Now you gotta win out if you're gonna get Mama a birthday present on my dime. This is a keep, and then we're going to see about whether we're stone coiling on 1 or not based on what we draw. Hey, Charmy. Good game. So, we're seeing a Mardu land from Math. If you if 5 total subs get gifted, well, first let's see if you win. Let's wait until I get a 4th win, then we'll talk. How about that? Let's wait till you haven't just done it yourself. We'll come up with alternatives then. The thing is, playing Stonecoil on 1 here doesn't seem worth it because we can use it as part of triggering the spirit later. And with this mana, we're going to save the takedown and try to use it as Garfield intended. Welcoming Vamp. Seems like there's some action waiting here for us. Well, I'm going to start with an attacking spirit. I'm not going to not... Oh, no, wait. Let's see. This can be activated. Do we want to let them spend their whole turn in a card on killing the spirit? If they do, it clears the way for the vampire, which is actually a nice thing to get down here. And then the vampire picking up cards really makes up for the spirit being dead, and it takes care of their ramp. I'm going to offer. I had to think it through, but I'm going to offer. Hey, Charmy, thanks again. So glad you could play. Hope you had fun. All right, they didn't even take the offer anyway, which means this might get countered, but we're going to make them have it. What they also might have is a Wrath effect. Blue-white control could be going on here. Oh, this looks like Golos now. I'm waiting for Golos to show. Valorous Stance, making some Indestructible could be nice, but I think we want to try for the Benalia here. Don't know. Could also play the Dancing Sword and then, or maybe I just attack first. Certainly, let's attack first. We've got the stance to give Indestructible. I'm going to start with an attack. See what they want to do. All right, so spirit token and damage. So I think we go ahead and we're going to Valorous Stance the Vamp and then take down the spirit token. Or we can let the, yeah. And then we get the takedown token as well, or we get the spirit token as well. So I'm going to do it. And the card. Oh, woo! All this ramp is scary. In a format like this could be headed to some doom for us, but we're just going to try and get there. Ranger gets us Dauntless, Lead, and Micaeus, or Usher. History, go wide. Makes some sense that we can go History, Isamaru, and get the counter, which I'm going to do now. Get the counter before getting in. Oh, hello, friend. Could go Isamaru still, but we could also just go Dancing Sword. It's worth as much damage next turn, and it's less mana. And it doesn't die to a Wrath. This is a free block with us tapped out, so I'm just going to send the air. A lot of good action off a 4X multiple choice, but we get to just bounce one of our tokens, or we could bounce a Spirit and it just becomes a second spell that we cast. You know, we can just lead into this. It does, but if we just leave it down, we get to go Ranger Isamaru, which seems we still get the draw trigger and everything. I think it's fancy play to return Clarion. I think we just kill a token and are fine with that. It all doesn't matter. If I can encourage the Green Seeker to attack, all the better. But it is because it didn't feel like it mattered to me. Land, 6 mana, Ranger Hound, or Ranger... Yeah, Ranger equip, hold up Hound. There's just this temptation now to hold up Shelter. I'm going to go Ranger, Bodyguard. Micaeus. And then Bodyguard helps against Wrath protection. Again, we don't really think there's a Wrath here. But I'm going to do this and protect our Vampire. Ugin, yeah, Ugin would be a nice one. Good call, Rob. It also gets around all the stuff I'd be doing to mitigate anyway, so... I just don't think a deck wants a Wrath that's doing this much with creatures is all. That's where we were kind of landing on it. Now, Flyer, and no other attacker though. So we're getting there, but we could easily like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I love the Ugin call. Ugin could drop next turn and turn this into a loss. I didn't do the equipment because I was thinking, oh, it is Isamaru, but now I'm questioning if I do that. So I should have equipped if I wasn't going to, but that's why I didn't. I had been thinking I was going to cast Isamaru. But yeah, I should have added to the damage if I'm not going to play the Isamaru. Can we beat an Ugin? Ulamog is one, isn't that 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know how it'd be 10. Yeah, if we're afraid of Ugin, though, like the thing is, Ugin just gets us. Ugin is just, but yeah, it does give us by equipping it, we would get. Is Ugin exile or destroy? Because I think it's exile, and then that doesn't even happen anyway. Yeah, so like Ugin is just so hard to beat. I'm not going to play around it. If Ugin destroyed and didn't exile, I think equipped sword would be correct. But I think, yeah, Serpent survives Ugin, but as a 1, I don't want to play it as a 1/1. We would play it as a 6/6 after the fact. So I am going to just play the Isamaru. The Hound. And this looks silly if they then Ugin us, but I don't think we can beat an Ugin, so I'm not going to be... Oh, thanks, Timber. This is the Arena Cube, not the Vero Cube. Vero Cube has Ugin, right? I suppose I could have looked. I made an assumption. Makes sense. They gotta buy some time here. And maybe they did it. They did a desperation scry, perhaps, and found found something underneath. I guess they didn't find a land last time, though, so who knows? It's not a scry. It's just a scry if you draw the land, I think is the point Alexis is making, right? That if you find a land, you get to scoop ahead. Beginning of your upkeep. Yeah, that could be serious. Let's see how that works for them. But I think we have a mega attack next turn. And Basri just maybe ended it. So we go Basri. Sword up a flyer. Well, we've already seen the settle, so if there's a second settle, I call shenanigans. Now, do we make something unblockable? Yeah, we give shelter to blue on a forward power, and then it gets through for sure. I'm gonna try this. Oh, Pride of Conquerors, you're a card late. You were kind of what I was looking for. But I think we'll be all right. I don't know. Math is for somebody besides me anyway. Math is for math. Oh, right, they had the block with the idol. Good work, Math. Maybe I should have made a flyer. It made this unblockable. It was enough.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Yeah, this worked out. Cutting the white. Yeah, the I don't know what goodies you could have found with that Wooburg enchant, but we're scared of that. We were talking about how to play around board wipes and stuff. Easy keepy. Gonna go Usher, and then probably on 2 I would spend 2 to make a token over 1 to make an Isamaru. We'll see though. Yeah, I'm just gonna Usher a token here. If I 7-0 you a third time, I win the hair bet. That's what happens. The hair bet is over, and I'm declared the winner. All right, history now. It would be classic Alexis to fret about her chances the entire time and then destroy me. That would be a classic story. Which is not a criticism of Alexis. That's my ploy. See, Alexis and I are a lot alike, and that is my play to complain while winning, to express extreme pessimism while kicking someone's ass. Yeah, complaining, not the right word. Expressing pessimism. How about that? Being pessimistic the whole time and then kicking ass. That's better than complaining. Indeed. One of my favorite tips from Brian Wong, former co-host of Limited Resources, is to use the similarity in anxiety and excitement to mentally convert anxiety into excitement. Whenever you're feeling anxiety, you can talk yourself into the idea that you're actually excited about this thing. That what you're feeling, Ryan, that's just excitement. Just be excited, right? All right. Yeah, Shelter and Isamaru seems correct. We go because we can get Isamaru back with Luris, and Shelter seems less necessary in what's going on here than another impactful creature. So I like that suggestion. Oh, Alexis and I worked together on Magic Online for 5 years. So we could play the shield, and then Wanderer doesn't have good blocks on our 2s, on the 2 toughness anyway. But I don't think we need to do that. We can offer up. If we offer a 2, I think the Dread... If we offer up this, the Dread Wanderer takes it. Maybe we don't want to offer that. Because Usher we offer, and we can get it back with Luris. But we can't get back this Knight token, and it's about to get big. So I think I'm going to do it this way. Actually, we worked together for 7 years. 5 of it was on Magic Online, and then Alexis moved to the Arena team at about the same time I did. So we kind of both transitioned to Arena together. And I am going to let this happen and just maybe even play it back with the Luris. So mean. I can't tell, like, the Dread Wanderer makes me think this isn't Wrath-based black, but I am putting a lot of eggs out there against an empty Oppo board, so brace yourselves. Like, we could get, there's that pick a creature type -3/-3 that you can run. I don't know if that's in the deck, or Languish. Yeah, there's lots of ways I could get punished here, but my read was that with Dread Wanderer in the deck, that they probably wouldn't be in the deck. I was gonna say, Saitama doesn't do that unless there's another play for the Luris, right? Well, send in the clowns. And then I like Redain to prevent, to play against the 4+ mana Wraths. So I'm going to do that. That really takes a lot of answers off the table. And that gets them to 8. We can cast out and get them to 1, but not 0. But that's what we're gonna do. All right.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
I think your perception of Wizards as a company would change if you were on the inside, D. Of course, Hasbro, as a publicly traded company, prioritizes profit. This is a capitalist endeavor, turning cardboard into cash, and that's okay. When you talk about a company as a whole, it's kind of like, I mean, a company is made up of a bunch of people, and the people on the inside have a lot of different opinions, and those opinions come out, and there's conversations, arguments, decisions, and so I don't see that a company that doesn't value meaning is like, what is a company? That's what I mean. Like, if you talk about Wizards as some monolithic entity, it has decision makers at the top that you might be talking about when you talk about a company, but a company is a bunch of people with a lot of different opinions and a lot of different feelings and a lot of different value for meaning, right? Yeah, they do. Do they give to charity? Oh, yeah. very, very. I mean, there's the children's charities they're involved in. I mean, go look up the Pony. Yeah, it's a focus on kids charities. Seattle Children's Hospital has been the big beneficiary of their outreach, but hardly that's not the only thing. There was one year, I don't know if they continue to do this, but for example, we all had a day where we were paid to go to work, but we did not work at Wizards. We got to a bunch of employees got to choose to be leaders for different charitable endeavors, and you got to sign up for whichever one you want to do. So you could sign up for building a ramp for somebody. You could sign up for sandwich making for a homeless shelter. You could sign up for any number of things. And I signed up for, what did I do? Oh, we did like a Boys and Girls Club gaming reach out or something like that. It was yeah, and that's another great point, Math. I mean, on the one hand, I want corporations to be acting charitably, but on the other hand, if they do it with your money, it's kind of a scam. Especially like at the, like if you go to the grocery store and they got the charity container there, or they want you to round up for charity, they want your 25 cents so that they can give it to charity and then deduct it, do a tax deduction, right? I mean, it's amazing how charities can be very not charitable when bent. Yeah, you know who else isn't a charity? My sponsor, Card Kingdom. But despite the selfish motivations corporations can have for charitable endeavors, usually the people inside are earnest about it. We were all earnest about our charitable efforts. I know that Card Kingdom is sure earnest about their charitable efforts. So it's fine to shake your fist at the gigantic capitalist machine, but there's plenty of great people on the inside who are not capitalist machines. They're people trying to make other people happy through good games. All right. End rant. Let's bring it, Alexis. Good curve out opener. Another sneep. Only thing is we're not on the play. Aha. This makes me want to do Micaeus on 2 if we don't find anything better. Alexis in Rakdos is also on brand, I gotta say. And somewhat telegraphed that I'm not going to offer these trades, but I think Alexis understands at the very least I'm trying to flip the landing. But I do, if we can survive, I like history into venerated after that. We'll see if we can spare the time. Yeah, that's an interesting point, true. Because a lot of corporations are trying to cover up their less shining decisions and actions with charitable cover-up. Big ouch. Big ouch. Could just Loxodon now even, but that seems premature. I like history that I'm willing to maybe even block with. Although Lurrus... I think we send the Vamp for the 14 life, and then we have a good then we go ahead and take the risk of Benalia. Well, I'm going to start with swinging away, because neither of these are blocking, and I'm not Loxodoning this turn. Although do I have time to Loxodon? It's a real question. Maybe if I do, I need to do it this turn. Because I could Loxodon this turn. Yeah, we could Lurrus. I figured she just picks off Lurrus. But maybe that's fine. Because if she can't pick off Lurrus, we win. What do you mean? Because we put a counter on this or whatever? And Alexis did not play a third land. Let's remember that Alexis is currently stuck on 2. So I got to keep that in mind also. Loxodon dies to a lot of good black removal on 2. But then we crack back with, like, lifelink. This is a really interesting spot. And I'm not sure what to do. I think how do we grow Mikaeus, though? Doesn't it? Oh, yeah. We can leave Mikaeus back. Sorry, I was thinking I needed to spend mana, not just tap, which also explains what you're talking about with the blocking. Sorry, I should read my cards. Mikaeus is even better than I remembered. I was thinking I needed to pay white and tap, not just tap. So given that, I do like send the 1/1, leave back Mikaeus, and drop the history. For the Lurrus, maybe I'll go with Lurrus. It's a much higher risk, but higher gain. Timeout alert, D. I feel like I haven't timed out D in forever. He hasn't been obnoxious enough. Not that that's... Don't try, D, or I'll make it a... I'll leave you timed out for a week. Oh, okay, maybe I did earlier today. I hadn't remembered. Okay, they're going for... Like I said, though, Alexis kind of had to do Lurrus. So, we made her have it. And it looks like she didn't find her lands. Oh, we can grow Lurrus. Yeah. Sure. But I have to... Then Mikaeus dies, and then we get Mikaeus back. Yeah, let's grow Lurrus. Chat's so smart. When you watch this on replay, Alexis, sorry, chat saved my bacon there on the good play. So now we can get 6 back, and I feel great about that, and I don't want a Loxodon right now. Mikey on 1 and a 2/2 Serpent is one way we could go with it, for sure. Could also, yeah, just Serpent. You like Mikey at 2, Serpent 1/1. Yeah, that threatens some stuff too. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, let's do that. Sending an attack, though. It can't be more than 2. Interesting. There you go. I thought we could just do it for whatever, but I can't go above X of 1 or else the Lurrus can't cast it. Interesting. I didn't know that, but we're gonna do it this way. Yeah, that's funny, D. Your baby is doing all the obnoxious stuff now for you. No need. We can do locks on 2. This game feels a lot closer than it feels like it oughta with Alexa stuck on 2, but that's the benefit of a low curve, right? She is totally in this. That helps. That helps. That's a big game there for Alexis. I think History Loxodon will be big game for us next turn. Great attack, though. Yeah, maybe just decides don't need it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We go to 8. Rough, but yeah, we got to take this. Yeah, there is kind of a custom in-house card maker. They even tried to hire the guy who coded the Magic set editor, but he was international and it was tough. There was weirdness and visas and that kind of thing. Attack to flip landing is totally reasonable. We could also, let's see, if we go 5 and we play, we play sword leaving 3, equip leaving 2, and then attack with lifelinker equipped, and then flip the landing, we can still play Benalia for extra blocks. And then we get an extra 4 lifelink here. I think that's worth it. Especially with the flip. And the damage in the race. We're certainly seeing, Samuel already left, but there was an article bringing down, saying the Loxodon is a little clunkier than you might have remembered in this format, and that sometimes you just don't have the maneuverability to like tap down your whole team for a turn to get the real benefit. I still think, again, you play it, but I recognize how it's definitely been clunkier this event. Alexis in the tank feels like a good sign for me, but not to say Alexis can't find a pathway through this. There she is. But I think we just take that. If we block, we can't block the air. Our option, if we block Earthshaker, we trade this off and then we lose Mikaeus, right? That's too harsh. So we're going to say no blocks. Valorous Stance. Seems pretty good here. Because Gutter Bones is going to try for the life linker. We could just let that happen. Yeah, we can pump team with Mikaeus. Just let Mikaeus go. We can do that mid-combat. No need to do that now even. We just leave Mikaeus available. And then we attack in with Mikaeus up and Stance up. And then if we can just hard cast Loxodon for no real value, or except being a 4/4 if we need to do that too. Let's start with, yeah, let's send everything but Mikaeus as a starting point. Now we Mikaeus. And we can stance wherever Judith aims. Yeah, but we can do that after, right? Like, we don't need, we can just let combat damage happen and then decide what happens with the stance after. Now, here's the thing. I like the lifelink, but if we save the knight, we have another defender on the ground. And if we let this die, the sword becomes a flyer to block the channeler. So even though it's doesn't seem like the more valuable thing, for closing out this game, we actually want to save our token. And we can cast Loxy even, if we'd rather have that. I think I want the... yeah, we tap one and leave the others untapped. I think this is fine. You think tapping sword was correct to give it, kill the channeler on crackbacks? Yeah, it must attack. Interesting. So, still works out, but plus, maybe that's even more of a reason to have put it on the sword, on the, right? Yeah.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
I don't get as many of those as I'd like. Wins against Alexis. Oh, you missed that one? Well, good. If you watch the replay, Alexis, you'll feel a little better. I missed it as well. Chat saved my bacon there. They have a hard time playing on chat's side on Fridays. It's hard to watch a game of Magic with somebody that's talking to you and not make suggestions to help them win. At least I find it that way. Yeah, oh yeah, you had this strike there, yeah. That was an interesting game nonetheless. let's not jump ahead. Let's see what happens. All right, Meanthril, it's up to you. Can you keep me from the 7? Oppo going first. With this hand, I'm going to Stone Coil on 1 if we don't find something better, because we can Aspirant on 2, and Luris can get a Stone Coil or an Aspirant back. Yeah, I think we still Aspirant on 2, yes. I agree. Well, maybe we don't now. They might need to take Skyclave, or we're just going to get it back. But I think you still take... you speed bump us with one of the 2s. No, it's not nerfed Aspirant, because we're not playing in the official event. We are in the side event. Never didn't, etc., etc. Offering up Serpent, no problem. Yeah, Mikaeus better than Prince here for sure. Not much is better than Prince, though. I ain't saying I'm better. No better than you. But if you want to play with me, you better learn the rules. Ow! My name is Prince. And I am funky. Lot of troubling mana over there to stop our apparition. I kind of like send in Serpent and see if there's any action before we do anything else. Then we got to decide if we want to play the apparition. I think Haj is right, though. If Meanthro leaves up all this mana, we got to offer them the history. I guess I'll hold that up. If they're going to kill it in a way that I can't prevent, we might as well buff up our Serpent, and if not, we can add to it at end of their turn. Now they know about the apparition. So trade? You'd trade? I said no. With the apparition, I'm going to try. Although this is scary. It feels like, although let's see, Censor could get this if we don't draw a land. All right, so you're going for it anyway, and we'll go ahead and put a counter here. But that's good. Now I feel good that we have Apparition to take this out, and then we can hopefully follow with Luris. Time Warp at its worst, kind of there on an empty board, no planeswalkers, just kind of an explorer. And a lot of things we could do here. I'm gonna offer the Aspirant, figuring it probably gets countered, but we could Prince. But yeah, I also like swing first, although if Aspirant lands, then we want the extra counter. So I'm going to run this out there, but I figure it gets countered. And that's okay. We're going to try to get it back with Luris after, if it doesn't get exile countered. Or killed. Exile killed or exile countered. I'm going to pump the Serpent because... the Apparition is already a big target because it gets something back. It only gets a 2/2, not an actual Valky, but nonetheless, it's spreading around. And also, if they only have multicolored removal, the Stonecoil dodges that. And Usher or Prince? Prince for Scry seems pretty good. I'm worried about wrath effects now, and I'm trying to decide how to best play around them. And having Luris behind certainly does that. So let's do Prince for the Scry. Of course, they know about the Luris, so yeah, this is just I don't know many Usher songs though, so I can't serenade you with any Usher. Very well played, Hat. When doves scry. I like it. I don't know if we need a takedown. We probably need both these. I'm going to keep Bodyguard on top, though, because then it is more wrath-proofing. A takedown might clear a blocker. But right now they don't have any. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we don't keep the takedown, but we keep the Bodyguard against wrath effects. Happy birthday, Mama. Nice turn. Gotta love this no matter how it plays. I know that's not the ideal for that. I know Meanthro wants to kick this thing, but that was cool. Come on.
It's my turn.
If we draw a land and they go for Aspirant, we can literally go Luris Aspirant and be...
Time to die.
All right. How about Luris Bodyguard? Protect it. Why not? Totally can, right? Yeah, Apparition can't, but Aspirant, yes. Sorry. 1/1s. But we could also just bodyguard the aspirant and send everything at Chandra to get that off the board. I guess I don't even need to protect the aspirant because if they kill it, we eventually get it back with Luris. So yeah, that's fine. I'll let him choose. If they double block aspirant, we get the Chandra, and I can get the aspirant back later. And if they want to keep Chandra alive, then they need to double chump. So I feel this is pretty good. Yeah, save a bunch and just let Chandra die. Don't even need to block the one, really, if you're doing that. All right, they're saving Chandra with current blocks. And I'm going to go Luris, protect Luris with Bodyguard. Even though I could cast one of these. I got you, boss.
Oh, today's my lucky day.
Okay, these things don't do anything pre-combat. Do we even worry about Chandra now? Chandra can -3, but not -2. If we send in 1, 2... yeah, I think we just go for face here. And I'll make Luris a 4 that can attack through an egg. Nice. Typhoon. But I can make Luris indestructible at least. Mantle doing everything they can here. Well played stuff. But we're going to go for Mikaeus on 1 and an Usher. Because as I learned, you can't go higher than 1 when casting X spells via Luris from the graveyard. Makes sense. I just didn't quite process it until I tried. A little all-in-y. Maybe I'm supposed to even hold the Usher to rebuild in case of a big Wrath here. But I do get to save Luris in the case of a big Wrath here. Unless it's Exile Wrath.
Down.
All right. Still in it over there. Still in it. Commando doesn't get any of these. If we swing away, we throw a counter on like the Usher, and then 2 creatures should be lethal. So barring something here, pump Usher, send feels good. I'm going to make him have it. And again, we get to save Luris almost no matter what. Mikaeus in case of Luris dying. Why do we care about Mikaeus first? I mean, you can't do anything about it. I guess. Sure. But I guess if it's exile, then it matters. I don't want to, what I want to make is another 4 power, but I can't really do that. So I will play it on the Prince as being the least important of my creatures. So it's the one that if I were to make the thing that needs to be blocked yeah, I'm going to do that. And we're going to ship everything. Make them have it.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
All right, gang. Okay, gang. I said I was going to end the hair bet if I 7-0'd. For the 3rd time. It was a murderer's row, but I murdered the murderers. What can you say? Chat really helped on that one, honestly. Thank you so much. Hey, the gifts are going in the wrong direction. Oh, there we go. No, descending the gifts is good. I do, but here's what I'm going to do. I do think I want to bring the hair bet to an end, but it doesn't mean we can't replace it with something awesome in the 7-hole for you all. We can still Gauntlet. We can make it something. So here's what I want you to do, chat, as we think about this over the weekend. You can talk about it in Discord. Think about what new arrangement is reasonable for 7 wins, but that you'd be happy with. You know, like well, yeah, we could. Let's just we're gonna take my hair off the table now, but we'll put something else on the table that that chat really loves. I really do want to make it something worth chasing, worth fighting for, worth getting excited about every week. But let's take altering Ryan's body off the table. That's what I'd like to do. And to show you my good faith and my good mood for having 7-0'd again, and it being Mama's birthday, we are going to the store. We're going to go to the store. I'm going to buy your love, and I'm going to buy the end of the hair bet with something awfully sweet in here. So let's look at bundles. No cash, but almost any amount of gems and gold is fine. I don't think they have the Jace pet anymore. I think we missed. Oh, too bad. But yes, Mama, I would buy you a pet today. You want a pet? We can do a pet. It's Mama's 1 item, no cash shopping trip. So probably like a pet or a bundle, one of these bundles. Oh, we should just get a pet bundle if we're going to do the pet, right? You can get a pet bundle here, and it gives you the pet and other stuff. We got ooh, there's a 25,000. Maybe I'll just maybe that's your budget. How about we'll do it Wheel of Fortune style? The highest price thing here is 25K. So, Mama, I'm going to give you a 25,000 gold budget. It's the end of Wheel of Fortune. Look at this showroom of fabulous prizes. Just get a bunch of Innistrad boosters. Is this going to be a new thing they add? Like 20 boosters for 3K? Is that any good? I don't even know. Oh, they're alchemy boosters. Got it. Got it. That's how they're selling alchemy. I just saw Innistrad on it. See what I mean? I didn't see the alchemy. I just saw Innistrad. Yeah, that's a little weird. You couldn't come up with a unique card back for that. Although maybe that's, I don't know. Is that Oko's literal card back? Like, is this an Oko thing? That particular design that? Even Mama thinks the stickers are dumb. You could get these lands for 12.5 and still have 12.5 left. What could you do with the remaining? Oh, but then you couldn't afford the pet. Budgeting is hard, isn't it, Mama? Pet! Pet bundle it is. No, this is Mama's birthday present. She gets to pick without any consultation. No, it's Mama's pick. We're gonna do this. Apply now. But she's got 10 grand left, so now maybe Mama can consult the masses for where else to spend 10K. These are more, yeah, these don't look super relevant to us with the spellbook treatments or whatever. You know what? It's a little over budget, but budgeting is hard, so we're not going to do it. I love basic land, so let's get these. Happy birthday, Mama. Happy birthday, me. We did it. All right, that was fun. It's easy for me to say when I 7-0. I know. But it was fun. Cubing is fun. Drafting with y'all is fun. Chat having my back, even when they're supposedly trying to beat me, is funny. Yeah, we absolutely can, Alexis. But you'll find that you might not have the clout to get a 30K shopping trip that Mama does. But yeah, come on back. Hey, I know chat would love to have you on their team as often as possible, for sure. For sure. Yeah, and there you go. Alexis was first time this week. Glad to have her playing. Any of you all out there, YouTube land, if you are able to make some time on a Friday morning Seattle time and you want to reach out to Hat and Mama on our Discord about participating in this event, you can do so. There's details and links in the notes on the YouTube video, so check that out and hope to see you here battling me down the road. That was fun. thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. Happy birthday, Mama, and we'll enjoy all these new blingy stuff next week. Thanks. Bye, YouTube. Yeah, I'm definitely doing the Nick Cage and Con Air today a little more so than fair-haired Dave Grohl. Those are my the extremes of my hair. Nick Cage and Con Air and fair-haired Dave Grohl. That was fake hair? Well, I'm pulling it off for real. Take that, Nick Cage. All right, and yeah, for those of you here, for the Discord folks here, I've earned it. I've gotten 3 7-0s before chat has 7-0'd me. The hair bet is off, but chat gets to decide a new, awesome but reasonable thing for the 7-win slot. I'm even willing to make it be like money. Like I'll even say this. How about this? $250 budget for you on me. Like that if you 7-0 me, I gotta spend up to $250 on something to do for chat, and you can figure out what that is. So, like I said, you know, we can really make the 7-0, the new 7-0, like even better if you work with me on it. Okay, sound good? Yeah, $250 haircut. Yeah, that's cool. A professional haircut from a talented individual. Yeah, here, I better do this for posterity, too. It is not 6-0. We got there, gang. Charity donation would be good. You can decide what, or how about we can match it even. I'll do like, well, we'll figure it out. I'm happy to make charity part of it as well, but I want chat to drive because I want you to be happy with it as a replacement. Because I know people like the hair bet, so let's come up with something even better. What was Alexis's mind suggesting? I didn't see. You can donate to, well, there's you know, if you want to call it for a haircut, sure. I do actually intend to get a haircut soon. I keep saying that, but like this, it's longer than I want it now. I just don't know how I want it cut yet. If anybody has suggestions on what to tell a hairstylist for a cut and or what product to use in it, I'm I'm in for suggestions. But yeah, we could also make a 7-win thing predicated on the next Grand Prix event or, you know, Magic Fest, and we'll go do a karaoke night at a Magic Fest, GoingOptimal Fest. Yep, I could send out Ryan Spain rookie cards as part of a 7-0 prize for sure. You can put that on the table. I got a lot of those. So a hot tub filled with whipped cream. That's sounds expensive, both in whipped cream and hot tub repair. Okay, like a kiddie pool? Or okay, blow up pool. That makes sense. I'm like, who fills their hot tub with whipped cream? That is insane. But it does sound glorious. And yeah, you could work out something like that too. If you want me to get into a kiddie pool of whipped cream, that is absolutely on the table. So I've given you some homework. You've lost the hair bet, but you can make it into something greater. There you go.